Good morning, and welcome to the Morning DNA. And welcome, please, the woman of a million distractions, Danae Hughes. Welcome, Danae, to the show.
Holy moly, what happened?
Well, 10 seconds before we were, by the way, this is the morning of January 25th, 2021, and I am the man of a single black shirt as well, Aaron, and welcome. About 10 seconds before the countdown ended, Danae just disappeared.
I know. I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my co-host, who just decides to close everything out 10 seconds before the show starts.
Yeah, I am trying to get my puppy cam up, and I'm using a brand new puppy cam idea, and I think it crashed my computer hardcore.
Your computer crashed? Interesting.
Well, I mean the Windows. I shouldn't say the Windows. I shouldn't say the computer. It's Monday! Woo!
Do you ever wonder, like, hey, when we said Mondays and some days, should maybe we have said like Tuesdays and some days? You know what I mean? Like Monday is, but maybe that's why we're here. That's why we're here every Monday, because this is the day we all need to hang out and gain some energy from each other.
That's right.
And some fun from each other. Listen, when you're working with Danae, you never know when you're going to have a new intro for the show. So welcome to the new style intro for just today. How are you feeling otherwise, aside from the craziness? By the way, not only did you disappear 10 seconds before the show, you appeared 2 seconds before we went live and we're like, go live.
Oh, I know. It's been, hey, okay. Apparently I'm just adding stuff to the show.
Okay, there you go.
Listen, guys, this is a crazy time. This is Crazy Pants McGee. I did not expect that was going to be popping up, so my apologies. How am I? Is the question.
Danae, I'm getting the sense you're a little frazzled this morning.
I did not expect to be frazzled. I thought I had everything kind of together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's one of those where I'm shocked by how unhinged my own morning seems to be going. I thought I was ready. I thought I was okay. I thought I could handle this.
You can. You're good. This is the beauty of what it's all about. So
yeah, it is. For those of you who are obviously listening to the podcast, I am trying to do a puppy cam share because we happen to have our outdoor camera inside, but it's obviously not working.
I see.
And so I was like, I'll just share my indoor camera. So I have like this really cool security camera set up so the puppies can, you guys can see them.
Yeah,
and then it's doing weird stuff. And so that's what's distracting me this morning. Also, the fact that I decided to try new lip gloss today.
It's very shiny.
Holy lips! they're shining so bright.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. My morning has been fine.
In the firmament. Sorry.
In this area of the U.S., we had incredible storms last night, and my dogs apparently are afraid. No, the microphone rubber band is still here. For those of you who are talking about that in chat, my dogs are afraid of storms.
Oh,
and so I'm not exaggerating. I literally woke up 15 times in the night to a dog sleeping on my head, sleeping on my pillow, trying to curl up and get into my shirt, crawling underneath the covers. It was just this entire evening. So I didn't get very good rest last night, which obviously has impaired my judgment, because about 26 minutes before the show went live, I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave and go get a coffee. So I did that.
Congratulations.
Did not expect that there was going to be a delay in receiving coffee. It's just
one of those mornings.
One of those mornings.
Everybody has them. That's for sure. My morning was very boring, all things considered. I get this. Woke up, took a shower, came downstairs, got the show prepped, and I'm now doing the show.
What? My God.
Craziness. I know. Oh, I'm sorry. I also had a bowl of cereal. So there you go. I mean, stop the insanity, Aaron.
No. Yeah. It's been an interesting I'm looking forward to today though. I feel like
Yeah.
really exciting things are going to be happening when your morning starts off and it's just like lightning striking every single time you move. It's going to be a good day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
think so.
I hope.
You want to shoot a dough then?
Yeah, lettuce. No. Yeah, lettuce.
Okay. All right. We can do that. We're going to do a DNA and U. So we've got a D topic, an A topic, and plenty of U topics if you prefer. And that again is a topic from Danae for the D, me the A, and you. If you have something you want to talk about, just put the letter U at the beginning of your comment so that we can scroll up and see it and that kind of thing and answer any questions you want to have or any topics you want us to talk about. Anything goes. Put anything you want us to talk about in there, and we will do our best to talk about the things we want to.
Wow.
Yes?
I mean, I'm just looking at the chat and I'm seeing conversations about duct tape and yeah, you guys are great. Thank you for hanging out with us and chatting amongst yourselves.
So we always kick off our Mondays with the FAQs before we go in. So Danae, what is the friendship application question for today?
Okay, I'm going to say straight off the bat, trigger warning.
Trigger?
For like bodily function conversations.
Oh, not Lone Ranger's horse. Got it.
I don't understand that joke.
No, nor does anyone. I'm probably the only one that heard myself say that gets that joke. So
that was just for you.
It's
right.
as often it is. So yes, your mom got it. So.
How does that make you feel, Aaron?
It makes me feel great.
Oh, JCD showing up for you as well. And Lolly. Look at that.
See, maybe more people got it than I thought. Anyhow, yes, the Lone
There's
Ranger's
a slight
horse.
delay in our live show. So you deliver the joke, and then we wait just a couple seconds.
Yeah.
It's a hit. Yeah. It's a hit.
Lone Ranger's horse's name was Trigger. So you gave a trigger warning. Continue.
I see. I see. Here's a scenario.
Okay.
We're eating food and hanging out.
That's not too gross.
And I start talking about pus.
Okay.
Blood.
Right. Okay.
Surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Broken bones.
Yes. Yes.
And nauseous body odors.
Hmm.
Does this bother you? Again, the scenario is that we're eating. Now, I do want to give a little bit of an explanation about this. I was raised by a mother who was a nurse, and my father loves watching surgery channels.
Who doesn't?
It was very common for us to be sitting around the table having food, and something disgusting pops up that I did not know was disgusting until social cues later in my life indicated that, yeah, not everybody talks about those things at the dinner table. So I think this is a really appropriate question for a friendship application.
It really is. I think it's really important to say how wrong I was about the horse thing, though, before we continue on, because the chat is just blowing up about it. You are correct. Lone Ranger's horse was actually Silver. Roy Rogers' horse was Trigger. Know your horse names. I apologize. So continue.
Know your horse history.
That's
right here on the Morning DNA.
Your horsestory, if you will.
Wow. I'm going to read what my sarcastic friend wrote while you guys decide if it would bother you and reply in the chat, Aaron, you think about what you would say.
Oh, I already know what I'd say, but go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I want
to hear the sarcastic response from your friend first. I really thought you were going to throw that because that is something you would do.
I know. I'm so proud of myself for holding on to it. I literally almost chucked the friendship application question and held on to it.
I don't have any problem discussing anything over food. It does not bother me. I never got the whole, ooh, we're talking about something gross I can't eat now. I don't understand that. I can eat during movies where there's all sorts of carnage. I don't know how the two are connected. The food still tastes amazing. It's still yummy.
Some people though.
No, most people. I think you're right. Most people, but I don't have that connective thing that most people have to where, oh, you make me sick. I can't eat. But I also don't get car sick. I don't get I'm not I may be a nauseating person, but I'm not a nauseous person, whichever way that goes. Yeah. So I don't really get sick to my stomach for anything.
I guess I don't either, but thankfully, I've had some friends that have explained that they go there in their mind, and then it's a very different scenario.
Okay,
and even can sometimes smell or taste mental experiences. So like you're describing something that smells bad, and then it's like they're thinking about that, and that affects how they eat their food. Crazy. I mean, that would be horrible. I would hate that.
Yeah, that would be rough. That would be rough if I dealt with that, or possibly helpful. Maybe it'd help me eat less. You know, I'd just be like, here, show me a surgery picture, and I'll stop eating.
Runny says, "Oh nope, that's not the wrong one."
Listen, I already admitted I was wrong. You can stop, okay?
I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong one. JCD says there are only a few things that would make me stop eating. None of what you listed would make me stop.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't stop. Now, there are things I don't need to subject myself to. Somebody in the chat, sarcastic honey badger, mentioned Dr. Pimple Popper, and I know some
Let's
people
not
love
talk about that ever.
Well, there you go. But it doesn't have anything to do with eating. Like it just doesn't. Like those two aren't connecting. It's just I don't ever really want to see those videos. You know,
right? But does it ruin food? Does it ruin a meal? And I'm thinking,
I don't even understand how it's connected.
Really super does.
Now, I will say I do have this weird thing.
Can you imagine? Okay, again, trigger warning. Can you imagine eating curdled cheese and watching Dr. Pimple Popper at the same time?
Well, I mean, let's just start with the first part of that sentence. I don't know what the Dr. Pimple Popper part has to do with the fact that you're eating curdled cheese.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was just an example. You were saying though.
I do have this thing that happens to me where, and my wife will call me out on it, where anytime I'm watching anything that might have a smell associated with it, or let's say I'm taking out the trash, or let's say I'm doing dishes, anytime there might be like old food, those kind of things. Okay. I don't breathe through my nose. It's just automatic. I breathe through my mouth and not my nose. And I don't know how I developed that. It's automatic. I don't even have to smell anything bad. It just happens.
How did she notice? How did she notice that? Was like
she can tell the difference. Yes. My 45 years of smoking have finally caught up with me. No, it's one of those things where she can hear the difference in how I sound a little more nasally. Like when I close off my nose and I talk, I sound a little different. So we'll be having a conversation, and I'll be doing dishes.
Why are you talking like that?
That's what she says, right? Like
you shut it off. I just thought you just changed your breathing pattern. You're like
no.
You do like an internal nose clipper thing.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Oh, is that not something people can do?
You have a nose flap you can control?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
I can flare my nostrils, and that's all I'm doing right now.
It's like that, but it's like at the back of the nasal passage. You can't close your nasal passage interiorly? Is that really a weird thing? I am one person with one singular experience. JCD says, Aaron, time for dishes, deactivating nose. Yeah, that's what happens. That is exactly what happens.
I'm going to spend the rest of the show trying to figure out what muscle I'm supposed to clamp to get my nostrils to shut. Is it nostrils? No, it's up in your sinuses.
It's your sinuses. Yeah, it's definitely your sinuses.
Holy moly.
It's where the Advil gets stuck.
That's your problem. Your problem is that your door system is activated.
It's just so wide open.
For me, it's just I don't even think I have a door. It's just a window.
Wow, I am floored right now. Like to think that this is maybe something that's like the curling your tongue or raising one eyebrow, which I can't really do.
I can't really do that either. I try.
There are just some muscles that people can control differently than other people, and I did not realize that was something.
What if it's because you completely jacked up your nose with that nasal spray?
Yeah, I don't think it is. I mean, it's
what if you because you did that nasal spray. For those that don't know, Aaron has a really hard time smelling things because he accidentally OD'd on nasal spray one time.
That's the irony is I don't even have to hold my nose anymore, but I do it anyway.
Like, what if the spray, hit your nose and it hit that little flappy flap and then it paralyzed, or it woke it up. And so now you have it and you don't.
I am floored right now that people can't do that. It would be the same as somebody told me they couldn't touch the roof of their mouth with their tongue or something. I'd be like, what? How is that something you can't do? Like,
yeah. Wait, people can't do that? Oh, we've talked about this before.
I'm saying that's what it would be like. So,
man, what a trip is this? This is why we have to do the show.
Yeah. So, anyways,
as often as we can.
I sound a little like this, and so my wife knows that I'm doing dishes or taking out the trash or whatever the case may be.
Mine's in my throat. It's not up in my nose.
It's definitely my nasal passages. Oh! When I got my COVID test, they went through that part that I can close, and I was
you rejected it. Like
yes, I was closing it around the little.
No, you didn't.
I did. It's like.
It's like you have those little ping pong paddle or the ping pong or whatever they call paddles. What's the game?
The game?
Bing, bing, bing.
Pinball.
Yeah.
Not ping pong, but yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The pinball paddles in your nose. Yeah. You're just like
no, it's more of a sphincterish. It's more of like a squeezing kind of thing.
Perfect. Thank you.
So I just
thanks, Aaron.
hope you're not eating.
Activate your nasal sphincter.
Oh, wow.
This is all because of this question.
That's right.
This is why you ask these kinds of questions, because you never know what's going to be happening.
Listen, I am shocked right now. I really am.
Do we need to stop the show?
No. But the chat is making me even more aware that this is not a normal thing. So
here's what I did. I paused the chat because I was talking about whether or not to have discussions at the table. And I wanted to go to Doc Tracy's comment next. And so I haven't seen any of the comments for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, go for it. Let's talk about what some people are saying about this friendship question.
Doc said that conversations at the table would bother him, but it would bother him anywhere. Essentially, it would bother me regardless of what we're doing. So talking about any of these items. This is why you ask before you jump into the topic.
Oh, man, that's hard, though. I mean, anybody can have any trigger, and I think we all have to have a level with our own triggers of understanding, and that's okay. I don't think you can hold somebody accountable for knowing your triggers if you haven't told them. But, if it's kind of one of those things, once you know, then you just have to be aware. So,
Lucas says, when I'm hungry, nothing will make me stop eating. It doesn't matter what the talk is about, even if it's my ex-girlfriend. Daniel, a vote for bothering. It's kind of like beep, bop, back and forth on this one.
Yeah.
But anyways, what a great question. I will say for me, I have realized I do have some conversations around the table I would rather not have. And so I do prefer hey, I happen to see this really interesting thing on TV about surgery. Is now a good time to talk about it? And as I'm eating lasagna, tearing into it with a knife, I say, nope, let's wait.
I do know people have this kind of thing because I do make jokes about it. I've just never had it. I will make jokes like that. Like if we're eating lasagna or something and, a surgery scene, comes on TV. I will make those jokes, but yeah, it's just never impacted me.
Here's a great comment from my mother on Twitch who says, Kay, I almost barfed trying to close off my nose. So
don't hurt yourself, guys.
I, along with everyone else right now, am attempting to locate my internal sinus sphincter, just like everyone.
Wow, I am absolutely flabbergasted. I did not realize this was like a muscle that most people hadn't activated.
That's fantastic.
It's wild, the sinuses.
I do love this comment from Lolly who says, I think it's dual responsibility to create a nice enough atmosphere where people are comfortable saying, I don't want to hear this, or noticing discomfort and asking, is this okay?
Correct. Yep.
Incredible point. If you realize that you're like in a conversation you're uncomfortable with, you do have an ability to address that. It doesn't have to be aggressive. You can just kind of like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this conversation. Can we continue it later? Or I'd rather not have it at all. And the hope, of course, is that you're in the kind of company who can either recognize some signals ahead of time, or at the very least begin to understand that there's a boundary that they've inadvertently crossed.
So
or maybe you discovered that they're the kind of people who like to cross boundaries on purpose, and then you're like, I ain't got time for you no more.
Right. My wife has started to consider becoming a nurse, and so she's taking an anatomy class right now, and so she's using my computer for a lot of her classwork, that kind of stuff. So now it's our computer, which is fine. You know, what's mine is hers, what's hers is mine. And I'm convincing myself. And so every once in a while, I open up my computer. It's just like internal organs, naked diagrams. It's just like, okay, well, I guess we're learning about the body now. So yeah, it's one of those things.
The human body is absolutely fascinating. I love talking about anatomy and physiology. During certain times. I did notice that there was a great comment also from Lucas. Are questions like this that prove true friendship? I think questions like this are great because they do lead to great conversations. Up on Periscope, Fusco, who I don't know that I've seen chat before, so hello, says,
hey,
to physician household, nothing is off limits.
I bet. Yeah. I'm just kind of used to it at that point. Okay, so try this. Try this.
I'm ready.
Swallow and pay attention to what your sinuses do, because they have to close when you swallow.
Okay.
Do you feel them close when you swallow?
Right. I'm just.
You can't swallow without something in your mouth?
Well, I went to swallow the first time.
And
I realized I had no spit left to swallow. I just. So I had to go. I'm trying. It's going to take time, Aaron.
Okay. I'm just telling you.
I mean, maybe.
That's what it is. It's at the top.
There's this pinnacle where the liquid moves across the back of the tongue and starts to go down. And right at that pivot point, I can kind of tell that there's a press against something.
Right. But you're not controlling that. I control that. That's interesting.
I mean, listen, as a singer and as a communicator, there's all kinds of muscles and things in here that I'm controlling because I can talk like this, or I can, you know. So I'm like, I know how to move things around in this space. So identifying the one that clamps off something that makes me talk like a nasal person, it's going to be a trick. It's going to be a trick. But I'm also, a dungeon master of a D&D campaign, and I'm always looking for interesting voices for my, like the little non-player characters. So this will be something that I need to have a nasally person, and this will give me practice to try to find this.
That way you don't have to do it like this.
It's really impressive though, Aaron.
I mean,
can I just speak for everyone and say congratulations?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, maybe I'm doing it. I don't know it. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Yeah, no, totally. I totally get that. It's just learning what that muscle is. I just didn't realize that was an uncommon thing. What a fun morning. This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad. You ready for your topic today?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, what do you got?
Okay. What food item is on your bucket list? Now, you might not have a bucket list. You might not have a food item on your bucket list. So switch this around for yourself. Is there a food that you need to try before you die? Sorry. I personally did not realize I had a bucket list until a friend of mine sent me a picture of a crumpet.
Okay. A crumpet, you say?
It inadvertently, I did not expect it. I have to go to the UK and try this thing. And it doesn't need to be a US crumpet. It doesn't need to be a store that's run by somebody from the UK living in the US closer to me that knows how to make a really great crumpet. It's like, I need to have a UK crumpet. I need to go there on a rainy day and eat this thing. I didn't even know when the picture was sent to me if it was potato or if it was bread, or I didn't know what it was. It just looked so yummy.
We'll have to go visit Lolly.
I need to travel. I want to go. I really want to get over to these different areas. I started thinking about going to Italy and having this, and I realized that my bucket list, which I have never had before in my life, I've never sat down and been like, this is something I have to do before I die. all of a sudden I have this intense desire to travel abroad and
Yeah.
eat food. So something woke up inside of me just a few days ago, and I'm excited to share that with you guys because I mean the picture, you know what? I could find it. Let me see if I can like pull it up so you guys can see the exact photo.
Some good answers coming in. Slab says a Philly cheesesteak from Philly. Have had that one. Check.
Hey,
not-
you're checking off theirs on. Oh, okay.
Not everything I was hoping for. The Cheese Whiz. The Cheese Whiz was just like, I don't want.
They put Cheese Whiz on it?
Yeah, the OG Philly cheesesteak has Cheese Whiz on it. I enjoy it more with like a provolone or some more of a cheese consistency. But yeah, no, the OG Philly cheesesteak is with Cheese Whiz.
I just pulled it up on my screen. I'm not sure which button to push so to show everybody.
Okay.
But here's the picture of the crumpet that I was sent.
Okay.
Doesn't that just look amazing?
That looks like an English muffin.
Like a perfectly toasted English muffin,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, that's just a perfectly toasted English muffin.
No. Let me describe. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up. I think he said this was sent by my friend Ian who lives in the UK. He said they are beautifully light. They are the airheads of the baked breakfast buffet. This doesn't sound like an English muffin to me.
No, Ollie's backing you up. It is not a muffin. No.
No,
I'm sure it's amazing. I'm sure it's
it
amazing.
looks waffle-ish, but I think it's really light and airy. And there's something about the way that it was just like perfectly toasted. And then it has like this little pat of butter that's left this sheen on the top. And then it's on this white plate with this red and white checkered tablecloth. And suddenly it is all I want.
Yeah,
So.
no, I hear you. I definitely. I mean, I've been watching a lot of Top Chef because I finally got into that show, and there's been 17 seasons, and they're all available on Peacock, I think. And so my wife and I have just been kind of zooming through them. We're into season 14 now, I think, 13 or 14, I can't remember. But yes, occasionally they will make something, and I'll be like, "Oh, that looks delicious." Put it in my mouth. Like you just have those moments where you're just like, yeah, I need to taste that. Now, the horrible thing about this is most of the stuff they're making is like a one-off thing that nobody will ever make ever again in the history of mankind.
No.
And so it's never happening. But
they do put the recipes up on the Top Chef website, but they do not know how to replicate panic.
You can taste the panic in the food, I'm sure.
Taste the panic. Just the beads of sweat that drip down into it that you can never truly identify.
Yeah, I'm having trouble thinking of a specific food item that I know for a fact. Like, I want to taste this. If I had the time, money, energy, I would go to this place and taste this thing. And you're right about the bread thing. Like carbs made in different countries, they make different kinds of donuts, different kinds of fried dough, different kinds of
baked goods.
Baked goods. That is the one. Baked goods is the one where I'm just like, oh. Yeah,
Get me to Italy.
Right.
I want to eat a baguette.
Yeah.
I know there's got to be more interesting things than baguette. It's just the first thing I could think of.
No.
Although
right.
I think that's in Paris. I'm sure baguettes are everywhere.
I mean, when we were in Portugal, we went to a restaurant there. We visited some street vendors, some local coffee shops, some different places, and they had food. It was like it wasn't I don't know, it's weird. I think we think the going somewhere else makes it different, and it's the travel itself that is attractive.
I want to find the food that is different, and I feel like
there's certainly plenty of shows that'll show you that.
I feel like there's enough people that I know now that I could have that experience. I could travel with my friend Jen, for example, who speaks multiple languages and connect with multiple friends like Norway and Switzerland and Italy. I actually, in the UK, I know people there who would be like, hey, let's go over here and try this. I don't know. I've never really been excited about food until this whole bread thing. You're right. It's the carbs. I'm addicted to carbs.
Well, and it's also being cooped up in the travel. I really think that's part of it. I mean, it's very strange. Literally last night, I was thinking about doing a Europe trip. I was just like, I want to go to Europe. I want to, And
I'm literally doing the same thing.
I
Let's
was
go.
googling like France, like some of the amazing beaches they have in France. I was looking at I wish it's ERT. It's like Eratet or something like that. There's this beach in France, and I saw it in a show. And I was like, I want to go there. And like, it's just this beautiful little beach. And then on the end, there's this incredible like white cliff, thing. I mean, it looks gorgeous on TV, which means in person, it's going to look even more incredible.
That's the hope.
And no,
unless it's TV magic.
No, that has always been my experience. When we finally got a chance to go to Hawaii, my wife and I, seeing Diamond Head in Hawaii was just mind blowing, and seeing the valley where Jurassic Park was shot was just, I mean, it's, you just can't get a sense of scale until you're there. You just
mean the
can't.
Michelob Ultralight commercial?
yes, where the Michelob ASMR commercial was shot. Yes, Danae.
I wanted to just give you a little bit of confidence here. This one's from The Boy Don't Play on YouTube, who says, that looks like an English muffin made by bees. So
that is what it looked like, but
it did. It did look like that.
Sure,
and I love that sarcastic honey badgers like Lolly has been triggered.
Yes. Yeah, I think Lolly herself said she had been silvered. Oh wait, I mean triggered. Thank you for the callback to the horse references. Very
Lucas says, I don't know you guys, but all the people in the world should have cheese bread, and then writes a few words I'm going to butcher pronouncing. So
do it.
my
I want to hear
apologies.
it. Do it.
Pau de Guayo?
You know what? That's probably pretty close. Yeah.
From Minas Gerais, Brazil, in their food bucket list. Thank you for that addition, because the addition of cheese with bread is always welcome.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
Afusco says A5 Wagyu ribeye steak is on the list.
I've had some Wagyu.
We had Wagyu at a restaurant in Nashville.
Yeah.
We were taken out to eat. They had this brick.
They had a cooking stone.
It was a cooking stone at like this insane temperature, and they cut the steak in these strips, and then they just laid them on top of this stone that I guess not only cooked it, obviously, but something about the minerals from the stone gave it additional flavor.
Sure. They said something like that. Yeah.
But apparently these cows are like massaged by gods. So
apparently it was good. I'm not going to lie.
It was really good.
It was a really good steak,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if it was the stone minerals or the massaged cows or just my, expectations, but it was good.
If you want to continue to trigger Lolly, a suggestion from Sarcastic Honey Badger is for you to talk about tepid, dirty leaf water, aka tea.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I have some
awful.
cool tea
Just
stories
awful.
too. Lolly, I need to just message you directly.
I had a steak in Los Angeles on a Netflix trip that was possibly the best meat I've ever had. And they said what they did is they basically, it's how they cut the meat differently. But the best part of a ribeye steak apparently is a certain section of the steak.
Okay.
And they basically cut it lengthwise. So the entire thing is just that section. Instead of like cutting steaks like this, like several steaks out of the ribeye, they cut one like across that section.
A cross section, yeah.
Yeah, like horizontally. So the whole thing is just like the best part of the meat, and they just waste all the rest of that ribeye to do it. So it's really expensive, but it was absolutely astonishing. It was the best. It was the best meat I've ever had. It was at a Brazilian steakhouse in Los Angeles. So
Well,
yeah,
that's special.
Yeah.
On Doc's list is legit Italian food from Italy. Lolly says that been to Italy a few times and didn't eat a bad meal the entire time. It always tastes so clean. And then all of a sudden my chat just popped off. So I'm back down to what's actually being said today. Doc says something about living on that island. Maybe Hawaii? That's cool.
Could be. Yeah, no, there's, when you talk about like doing a travel food trip, that sounds amazing. If, tour that I lived in that world. That I had the time and resources and non-pandemic to do that. So
I got it. Doc says I've had my dream food, Swiss chocolate, which I've had as well. Oh, it's so good. Norway chocolate too. I've also had Norway chocolate. Also incredibly good. You love it over Swiss. That's okay.
Nice.
Navajo tacos. Man, this is
Glad I had
exciting.
breakfast.
Yeah, me
Glad we're not talking
too.
about surgery.
Oh my gosh. Slab has a good one. Food bucket list is everything ever made on the Great British Bake Off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fun thing. There are actually groups. Now my mother is on Facebook. And I don't know if you're on Facebook, but there are groups you can join where they actually do like weekend bake-offs where you go and you get all the ingredients and you bake it yourself. And then like you have to meet back in 2 hours and show what you've created. So because my mother has done this a few times, I have had a chance to taste some of those items and they are so yummy. She did such a good job. Oh my goodness. There was this one in particular that was like this massive like cake type thing. And it had like pistachio nuts on it. Oh my Lord. That was so good. Even though I had breakfast, I'm hungry already. Anyway, wow, guys, there's so much. Noble Bowman. Hey, it's good to see your name. Caviar. Will probably be disappointed by it, but I want to try high dollar caviar someday. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to try caviar. How do you feel about caviar? Do you like want to?
I've had caviar before.
Yeah? How was it?
It was attached to sushi. So I did not taste it as I'm sure it was intended.
Nice. I was just getting prepped to share with you the.
Okay, while you do that, I'll read a comment.
Okay, go ahead. I mean, I have it ready, but go ahead.
Lil Bird DB with spicy soup on Twitch. Also a new name. Hello. NDN fry bread with honey jam, powdered sugar, or taco toppings is a must in my list.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. That.
So this is that beach in France that I was telling you about.
Oh.
How incredible is that? Like, just to come down that hill and just to see, like, I want to see that in person. And I'm just thinking, how much money do I have to make to be able to just go explore incredible places in the world? So
that's amazing. That looks beautiful. I was talking to somebody about what I would want to do if I was going to travel. So this is the impossibility of it all, right? Months. Taking months either off of work or figuring a way to work remotely for months. Can my husband take off work for months also? Can I like the idea that you go across the world and then adjust to the new time and then explore and having time to do that and not have to rush back to the US to make it like traveling for a week's vacation just to a different state is enough of a pain. I can't imagine trying to just quickly go and quickly come back. So the idea of traveling to the UK for me is not just like, let's just go over there, we'll do a quick trip, come back. I actually want to stay for a little while.
See, that's what I was just thinking. Like the idea is you kind of have to, because so I've seen a lot of really cool stuff in our own country, right? I've seen Grand Canyon. I've seen, what's the Mount Rushmore, like all these cool, the Painted Desert is gorgeous in Arizona. The Petrified Forest is amazing. The Sequoia National Forest in California with the giant trees. Like,
I haven't even seen those yet.
So I've seen a lot of this country, but it's because I live here and I can just go to those places. So you're right. I kind of feel like I need to spend a couple years in Europe and go around and see all the different places, and then spend a couple years in, the Australia, New Zealand area. And yeah, it's just that's the only way it happens. And it's not likely to happen, but who knows?
I know it doesn't seem likely, or at the very least, it'll be husband joining for like a hot minute and then going back, and I just stay for a little longer because, like I have what we consider to be family. It's a really close friend that lives in Norway, and then I have other friends in Switzerland. Like, I don't want to just, hey, everybody, meet up in Italy for one big dinner. It's good to see you. Bye. That would be a once in a lifetime trip.
Plus, once you start getting into Scandinavia, when you're talking Norway and Switzerland and those places, that is quite a bit away from like France and England.
Yeah,
and like that is a distance.
You got to figure out how to like your route, Because, you start up in Norway and in Switzerland, and then it's like, oh, do I just take a quick jaunt this direction for a few? Like, that's... Anyway.
Yeah, figure it out. Lucas says, oh, so many beautiful things to see in so little time. Let's go now.
I know.
All right.
I know.
Everybody book your tickets.
Thanks, guys, for the fun chat. Aaron, are you ready to go on to your topic? Because we still haven't got there yet.
My topic today comes from a story I heard in the first few days of the Biden administration. He had a button replaced on the president's desk. Did you see this story?
Yeah.
Apparently, our previous president had installed a little red button, and every time he pushed it, someone would bring him a Diet Coke. And it just got me thinking, what would you summon with your little red button? If you could have put a little red button where you spend most of your day, whether it be in office, home office now, or whatever the case may be, and you could have somebody install a little red button that made something appear. Now, I'm going to give one caveat. The item or thing that must appear must cost less than $5. $5 or less. Otherwise, obviously, I'm pushing that button for, a diamond or something.
I'm like over here going like, okay, I play so much D&D. I'm like, I'm going to summon an elemental.
Okay, well, let's keep it in the real world.
It definitely costs more than $5.
It's just there's something, all of us have something in our life, I think, and probably food or drink will be one of those things for most, but you can go beyond food or drink, but keep it, simple. The idea that this is something I'm going to want every once in a while through my day. And when I push a button, I want somebody. And let's also just keep in mind that we're living in a world where we wouldn't have to waste somebody's time who would have to bring this to us every time. It'll just magically appear. So we're not, wasting.
Yeah, we're just going to pretend that this is a magical button that, like the thing on Star Trek.
Yes.
Like the replicator.
Like the food replicator. Yeah.
It's like that.
It doesn't have to be food. Yes. But yeah, you push a button, somebody comes through the door.
It doesn't have to be food. It can be whatever. It could be whatever.
Your Android butler comes through the door with whatever you summoned. So, yeah.
And it's got to be the same thing every single time.
Every single time. You only have one little red button. You don't get a little red button and a little blue button. You just get the one button for the one thing. What do you think it is?
Okay. Well, like there's the practical part of my brain that's activated right now because every day I drink tea. And I love tea. So I'm super with Lolly on this one. It's a tea button for me. That's the most obvious. I'm thirsty. I want tea.
Yeah. What a waste of a button, but yeah.
But, well, there's all different kinds of flavors of tea, though. And so I guess in this case, it's just one consistent thing. So I don't know.
Mitchell Loomknitter says, my little red button would summon a shoulder massage. That's not a bad choice.
Mitchell Loomknitter wins.
I don't know what kind of shoulder massage you're getting for $5, but
it's good. It's a good one. It's at least 5 minutes.
It's not a bad choice at all. Not a bad choice at all.
Yeah, I might change my tea. My tea.
Nick Jagged says a cookies and cream milkshake for me. That is, whoo boy. I mean, let's also just assume calories don't count. Anything summoned by this little red button.
Wait. If I can't
calories?
have a magical elemental summoned from Dungeons and Dragons, you can't magically not have calories count.
Slab says, my red button would bring me the morning DNA anytime I want to hang with you people. That is both amazing and a little bit creepy, Slab. So thank you for that.
What if it was just like little representatives?
That's right. That's right. Little Android versions. Although I myself am an Android version.
And JCD says also, is it the same $5 each time? What, I don't understand how that's different. Or do you get like $5 every time? What if you just push the button and you got $5?
You got $5. You just that's your job. You can make, if you can push the button 60 times a minute, like once per second, you make $300 a minute. Like that's a really good living. I think that wins, honestly. A $5 bill. The answer is a $5 bill.
A lot for some serious this is just gonna start hurting after a while. You're gonna have you have to massage and get all those muscles and stuff to undo because that's just constantly pressing a button.
Elizabeth says a cheesecake. That's a good choice.
I'm super okay with that.
Rennie wants a Dr. Pepper on the rocks. Very nice.
Sarcastic Honey Badger saying $5 bill.
Yeah. My dad says a Symphony candy bar and some pistachios.
Just one thing.
Man knows what he wants.
Mr. Dicer.
Very nice.
Mr. Dicer should summon $5 bill and then get both at the vending machine.
Slab says Aaron's red button would summon a new black shirt for him. I may not look like it, but these black shirts do cost a little more than $5. But
Well, a $5
But yes.
black shirt, though, that'd be an interesting thing to see.
Would it? I bet I could find a $5. It wouldn't fit me. That's the only reason my shirts cost more is that I'm so tall and
But if
I like
you-
to have a little coverage.
If you summon them enough days in a row, you can just sew them together. One black shirt tent.
Yeah. I'm surprised
what
somebody
a fun
said
question.
I'm surprised somebody said something like lip balm, right? Like there's those little things that we just need throughout our day.
Man, that's
just
true.
like aren't available. I understand as human beings, we want to take full advantage of this button. But if you think of it in like a practical sense, like on an actual day-to-day level, what are those little things in your day that you go, man, I need this again, and now I can't find it? Batteries might be one, like summon like whatever battery I need. There's just
just a AAA battery, just one at a time.
Yes.
You're gonna be the guy that's like on, what is that app called? Offer Up. Like, I have another unused battery, because you're gonna have so many.
Lolly says, words of encouragement. Lolly, you are
Aw.
amazing. You are loved. You are appreciated. And I hope
kind,
you get all the you're kind.
beautiful.
I hope you get all the words of encouragement you need. So,
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Hand lotion. That's a good one. That's what I'm talking about. Like the idea of, I try not to be a lotion person. I think we condition our skin to need it as opposed to letting our skin provide its own oils and that kind of stuff. So I don't do lotion, but yeah, I know a lot of people depend on it. So
A hair tie. Super great one.
mm-hmm.
Constantly looking for hair ties.
Yep. Yeah.
Chris says, I will have a button that gives me more buttons, just like it, so I can set up the magic button emporium. Whoa.
Well, I failed to tell you this, but the little red button actually costs $6. So you wouldn't you wouldn't be able. It doesn't quite meet the limits, so I apologize.
And Nick wants to summon somebody who can laugh at the jokes. The bits that no one gets it. Hit the button. Boom. Somebody who gets it gets a joke. It's a $5 person though, so I don't know. I don't think that's gonna work.
A little bit of a Rick and Morty reference. Lolly says a Mr. Meeseeks button. Yeah, that's a great episode right there. Good choice. Good choice.
That's a good question. I like how you think about those things, because I did see that in the news and I was like, interesting. Like a button.
Oh, I had many, many thoughts about it. And
a button to summon something to drink.
Right. Bring me my Diet Coke.
I guess I understand it, because soda is something that once you open it, it starts to lose its fizz. So you don't want to just have, access to like a pitcher. It would go bad.
Yep.
I guess I understand that.
Yeah.
But also soda is really, really bad for you guys, okay?
You know what? We already
But I'm not
established
judging.
the button eliminates any negative consequences.
No, because then I can do a fun, crazy, magical thing.
Sure. Go for it. What's your fun, crazy, magical thing?
An elemental. I would summon an elemental. I told you this.
I don't know what an elemental is. I don't know what that means. I thought you were making up a word.
No. No. Yeah, you can summon a cool like being made out of like air, fire, or water.
Aren't we all made out of elements? Like, aren't we
Yeah.
kind of made out of water?
Yeah. No, you're not
Carbon?
wrong about that. You're not wrong about that.
Well, there you go. I think it's time for the U question. What do you think, Danae?
Yeah, let's go to it. So just put a U in front of your question so we can see it in the chat. You can ask any question or you can suggest any topic. It doesn't mean we'll talk about anything, but we will give it a go if we are able to. And that's how we're going to round out the end of our show today. And while we're waiting for those to come in, just as a reminder, you guys can follow us on Twitter and watch us every Monday and Sunday. We try our best to go live an additional day throughout the week. That doesn't always happen, but Mondays right now is when we tell you guys we're going to be on at 9 a.m. Central. You can watch us right now streaming across all platforms, Twitch and YouTube and Periscope. When is Periscope not going to be Periscope anymore?
I think I saw at the end of January, Periscope is
soon.
dead. Now, I also saw in that Twitter is obviously going to continue to do streaming video. So we'll still pop up in our Twitter feeds. Like the people who watch us on Periscope are probably watching us on Twitter. That's generally how that happens. There are very few people who open up the Periscope app anymore. So
so it's the app that's going away.
Yeah, in the name. And so I don't know if they're going to rebrand it or if they'll just call it Twitter Video or, whatever
Twitio?
the case. They
we're
might.
also streaming onto the Book of Faces. So you guys are awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. And please just click the reminder so that you can see when we go live every Monday and Sunday. And there we go. That's the spiel.
First question, Slap says, but what would you use the elemental for, Danae?
Shoulder massages.
Just make the button for shoulder massages.
No, man. Can you imagine?
I would use the elemental to bring me a Diet Coke.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, I would have the ability to do that. Also, I don't know. I feel weird about summoning a being at my whim. So I probably just
It does
need to
feel a
make
little
something.
weird, right? That was
It
definitely
does.
one of my first thoughts was like, but I think I give a lot of grace in that kind of situation though for somebody who's at least supposed to be working hard and like constant, like there is something to having things be at your disposal so you don't have to think about it. It reminds me, actually, speaking of the black shirt, and continue to get your you questions in, please. We'd love to answer your questions. But this morning, my wife told me she's decided to wear to work what she wears to church on Sunday. And she said, it's so much easier. I don't have to think about it in the morning. I'm like, welcome to my life. This is part of why I do what I do. Just to get rid of that stupid thing every day. Like, what do I wear today? What is it? Like, it's just, and why? Why do I have to look different every day? Why do I have to put on clothes that look different? Now, if I want to, and I want to, make a statement or have fun with my, adornments, I get it, but that's not me, at least not every day. So, anyhow, I just like that whole idea of getting rid of the unimportant things in your day, like that you spend time thinking about and deciding and choosing is, I think, really smart. So yeah, I do think there is something there.
Saragdo understands the world of D&D and adds to this, an elemental would be a bad choice. If you lose concentration on your control of the elemental, it would gain a will of its own and conquer our world. That's true.
Yeah, let's leave the elementals out of this for sure. All right, you question from JCD. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Also, is the button $6 to use because my $5 plan could be in trouble? No, you're not having to pay to use the button. First question, Danae, what would the food be? You have to eat it every meal the rest of your life.
That's a horrible question. I do not like this question because I love flavor diversity.
There is an answer that gets you your flavor diversity, by the way. I think there's a correct answer to this question.
Yeah?
I do.
Well, are you going based on nutrition or flavor? Or both?
Both.
Okay. Is it just salt? Just eating salt.
You're going to die very quickly.
I'm assuming we're drinking water.
No, go ahead. I want to hear where you're going before I give the correct answer.
Well, I was just thinking about like food items that I know are really good for you and give you a lot of the nutrition that you need.
Okay.
And like first salmon came to mind.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think it'd be, I like eating salmon, but I don't, just thinking about having to eat it for the only thing forever makes me really sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your answer?
I think the correct answer is pizza. Because, no, listen. Pizza has every food group, right?
Oh
has
my
every food
God.
group. You can put all sorts of toppings on it.
You
could do
broke
a
it, yeah.
veggie pizza. You could do a fruit pizza. You could do a dessert pizza. You could
Yeah.
do and it's not, pizza is not a category of food. It is an actual food, but the way you make it changes, so you've
This
got
is
your
the right
variety.
answer.
I think
You're right.
I think objectively
Mhm.
pizza is the answer to this
Because
question.
you can put all kinds of vegetables on it.
You can do a breakfast pizza.
See, I went to this like really horrible place where I could only ever have one forever and ever. And you went to the clever place of, well, if I'm going to have one,
It's pizza.
it's pizza.
It's not
That's
a trick
the
answer.
answer.
It's not a trick answer. Pizza is a food, and
It's a super trick answer. If the question was.
It's a clever answer, but it's not a trick answer.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a bad answer, though. Rice. Rice is not a horrible answer because you could season rice in a lot of different ways as well.
Does it give you all the nutrition that you need, though?
No, that's true. I mean, I guess you would have to expand the definition of rice to include like shrimp fried rice and like you'd have to
or if you said shellfish, because then there's different kinds and then you could have a variety.
Right.
Look at us trying to break this question.
Nick says the happy family meal from my local Chinese place. It's got a little bit of everything. Well, there you go.
Saragno says pizza's close, but technically wouldn't tacos be more diverse?
Fair enough.
Pizza would always require a quote unquote sauce, which tacos can or cannot have.
Tacos is another great answer. Yeah.
You can even put mandarin oranges on tacos.
If you really wanted to stretch it, you could say, what did you say? Mandarin oranges?
I think that was based on last week.
I think if you really wanted to stretch it, you could say sandwiches or something like that, you know. But yeah. So
or just yes.
That's right.
Yes, I want to eat everything.
All right. Let's see. Any more questions that you see? This is from AWO V87. Hello, first time listening to the show, but avid listener of BTD. I think maybe BTS. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just have to get one thing off my chest. Mr. Dicer, has anyone ever told you sound like the love child of Daniel Tosh and Jim Gaffigan? You guys are awesome. I have heard the Daniel Tosh thing a lot.
I don't know who Daniel Tosh is.
Especially
I literally thought you were about to say Daniel Tiger because I'm a mom.
Thank you. Yes,
I was like,
Daniel Tiger.
No, you don't sound anything like Daniel Tiger.
I haven't heard the Jim Gaffigan thing. Hot pockets. I haven't heard that at all. But the Daniel Tosh thing I've heard quite a bit, especially after starting to narrate on some of the Sins videos in the comments.
I'll have to listen to Daniel
Tosh. So he did like the internet show, or it wasn't on the internet. I think it was actually on TV, but it was about like internet memes and stuff. Tosh 2.0 or something like that.
No, I'm lame. I'm lame. I don't know nothing. But thanks for joining us and hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick says, in and of itself talk. Assign everyone homework to watch it and come back next week to talk. Listen, I have tried to tell as many people about this as possible. Danae, I don't think we've spoken directly about this. You need to watch it. You and Justin need to watch it. It's so good.
What are you talking about?
It's on Hulu.
What's it?
Not telling. I just watch it. Like, it's one of those things where I don't want to give anything away about it. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, guys, this is so interesting.
You're not going to tell me the title of what I should watch.
In and of itself. I'm sorry. It's right there.
Whew, guys. I was real confused for a long time.
No, yes, you're going to have to go to Hulu and just search randomly till you find this thing I'm talking about.
I know. I'm literally like, in and of itself.
I can't tell you the title.
Like, in and of itself about what? Oh, that's the title. In and of itself is the title. Guys, I just want to let you know there's something called in and of itself.
I had to write the most abstract review I've ever written for this. And basically my review said that it is counterproductive to tell you about this experience because of the way it impacts my own experience, the way it impacts your experience, and the way it allows the show the movie, the experience to define itself. I'm just telling you, I would really love to have those conversations. It is very possible you watch it and just be like, Aaron, you're weird. But it is definitely one of those things where everybody who has gone and watched it has come back to me and said, thank you. And can we please talk about this? So,
But now on to a more important question. Lolly wants to know what my lip gloss is. Girl, I got you. I'll message on Discord because I don't remember the title of it here in this room.
And we don't give brand names unless they pay us.
That's right.
That's how we are.
Bring us that money. So,
We need a
but thanks
red
for saying it's
$5 button.
poppin'. Thanks for saying it's poppin'. Definitely
Hey,
lip forward today.
you know, I was thinking, and we probably should close this up pretty quick, but if anybody else has a you question, please get it up now. So I was thinking just now, the little red button, $5 a pop. That's basically our Team DNA members, what they do for us. $5 a month, like $5 a pop, a little red button. They push the red button for us every
Once a month.
and say,
They run to their button. Wham!
yeah. And that, for us, you know, allows
Summons
us to
an
keep doing
elemental.
This, summons an
Oh,
elemental. And allows us to keep doing this show. So I just was thinking how grateful I am that so many people have chosen to do that. So thank you.
I know, me
for
too.
doing that at Patreon. Appreciate that.
It always
Moco
feels really
Maid,
good.
what's up?
What's up, Mokamud? The question is, what was the story that we referenced last week about the magical fruit?
Yes, magical fruit.
Wow. What a response, Aaron.
Well,
Like-
I mean, I don't know what part of the story do you want to tell. Like, I mean, I am a super taster. I have never been able to eat bitter things, and I took this magical fruit and it turned bitter things into sweet things. And so I ate a piece.
No. You're telling the most boring story ever.
Well, this is what I do. I'm telling
Hello,
the story.
everybody. I just want to let you know that I'm tugging through my nostrils, but not really. I've clamped them down.
Sorry.
No,
I'm
that's
not-
good. That was a pretty good imitation. Go
Uh,
ahead,
no.
tell the exciting version then.
Our friend Matt found out about Aaron's abnormality and had done some research on something called the magical fruit, which does what Aaron was just mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
It essentially coats your tongue.
It's a
And-
chemical, yeah.
It tricks your tongue into tasting flavors differently. And so the question was, for a super taster, what will this do? And so we all gathered together. Matt showed up with like 3 grocery bags of just stuff that Aaron would never eat or try.
Miraculin is the name of the
Miraculin. Thank you.
The glycoprotein that is extracted from an actual fruit called the miracle fruit.
Yeah.
So there's an actual fruit that has this miraculin in it. I love that the fruit is a miracle fruit, and the name of the actual chemical is miraculin. That's wonderful. But yeah,
Yeah.
so they extract it from this fruit.
Yep, and then they turn it into a powder form. I think you got it on Amazon or something. And you're supposed to essentially like consume, like, or you put this pill in your mouth. It's like a tablet, and then you let it dissolve, and you just coat your tongue, and you do that until the pill dissolves. That gives you the best chance of having the miraculin activate, number 1, and then number 2, that it lasts for a long time. And then we just had this whole spread on the table, and we literally just sat there trying. Well, first, what we didn't know
Mm-hmm.
is that Matt said we have to try everything without the miraculin first.
I think this was just torture. I don't think this was really something we had to do. I think you guys just wanted to torture me.
I didn't know he was going to do that though.
Sure,
And you could have said no.
No, I couldn't.
Sure, you could. Why
He was
couldn't
gonna
you?
he was gonna pack up and go if I didn't try it beforehand.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't have left. So Aaron drank, what was it? Apple cider vinegar. And he
Spoonful.
had a spoon, like a spoonful. It was
possibly the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth.
I don't know how to describe what happens when Aaron consumes something that's really jarring, except for that he immediately goes, "Ugh," clamps down, and he bangs his hand on the table, goes, "Ugh, ugh, ugh." And so, I mean, it's so hard not to crack up laughing because you're just like, your reactions are legitimately incredible.
Thank you.
But then also you're trying not to vomit. So it's just it's a roller coaster of emotion.
Like I said, I'm not going to vomit. I don't get sick like that. Like, it's just awful. Yeah.
It was awful to watch. But then after we tasted everything, like grapefruits, and I think there's spinach, mustard. There was also like sweet and sour like candies that were really sour.
Yeah, like Sour Patch Kids. That
yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Then we did the pill.
Pickles.
And then we
Pickles
went.
was a big one. Pickles was a big one.
Pickles, yes. Grapefruit was the one that really
Grapefruit
you were
blew my
so
mind.
happy.
Grapefruit blew my mind. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really cool because it was like watching your friend go from not being able to enjoy something to suddenly being able to taste it. and eliminate this entire bitter element. So he was able to taste grapefruit for the first time.
It literally turns bitter taste into sweet taste. It's this incredible thing. So
It was pretty awesome.
yeah, grapefruit was like eating candy. Like it was so good. Like spinach was fine. Pickles, I hate pickles, and it was just like,
He was
yeah.
over there just munching them. My favorite part was, so we tried all these different flavors, and it was amazing and unique and different, and it was just a fun thing and a really great experiment, essentially. Thanks again, Matt, for that. And my favorite part was, we'd already kind of sampled everything, and we were sitting back. It was myself, Aaron, his wife Jen, and Matt. And he kind of sat back, and he like just looks over at the refrigerator and just goes over and opens the refrigerator and just starts trying everything out of the refrigerator, things that he normally wouldn't try. And he's like, "You guys, this tastes so good." It was really cool and super exciting.
So in the chat, Lolly is asking how it works. Apparently, the Miraculin, when it's exposed to the taste buds, there's a protein that binds to the sweetness receptors. So in essence, it blocks the bitter receptors and then enhances the sweetness receptors. Causes normally sour tasting acidic foods, especially citrus, grapefruit, to be perceived as sweet. The effect lasts to about an hour. Somebody else asked, why not just have some of this with you everywhere you go? Because this is expensive and it only lasts an hour. And I'm not going to pop one of these every time I need to eat my spinach.
JCD says, I think Aaron's friend gave him LSD.
Well, you were
it
there.
It does sound a bit like that, doesn't it?
You were there. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was really, and then Breezy Lady is saying, the snozberries taste like snozberries.
It's amazing. That scene is about LSD, by the way.
It was really a fantastic experience, one that I think back on all the time, how cool it is to have a friend that like orchestrates this entire tasting experience. But and I love tasting things with food and having like moments with friends, especially when they're caring. But my favorite part was watching my friend Aaron, who often suffers when he eats food, and it is hard to watch. For as much crap as we give him, it really does suck to watch this guy like order food and then it comes and they didn't tell him about some secret sauce that just literally ruins the entire thing. And then the discomfort of going, do I tell them or do I just not eat? It sucks. So to watch him just get so lit up over food, it was a really cool thing. So if you know anyone in your life, this is actually kind of a fun thing that you could do. It's not, it would be expensive if you had to do this every single time you eat food, obviously. But if you wanted to do something that's sort of fun and experimental, there's actually blogs. I know Matt did a lot of research. So there's blogs you can go and look at as to like the cool food spread that you can do. So anyway, Nick asking, my wife lost her sense of taste and smell a few months ago. I wonder if magic fruit would help it come back.
Was it COVID? Like that's like the main thing of COVID is taking away the taste and smell.
I wouldn't think that it would, because it's based on what's already active. So I wouldn't know. But you know what? The pill pack came in like a sleeve where there was, I think, 6 or 8. So if it's just, for you guys to try for a little while, I don't also just be careful that you look at the shelf life as well. I'm not sure how long it's activated. Yeah. Is I think just the quickest way to say that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys. Thanks Mocha for reminding us to tell that story.
Good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I super forgot about that. So it wouldn't have come out. And I love that story. It's one of my favorites. We will share more when we come back.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, Aaron?
No, I think we're good. Thank you for, again, supporting us as members of Team DNA. We're 8 members away from playing some live D&D with you. So that's going to be fun, whatever that looks like.
We need to do something before that will give a little hint of what it's like. Because I don't think that everybody understands what playing D&D is. Like, first of all, we draw a pentagon on the floor, and then we put these little candles. We start chanting. There's blood. It's
Mhm.
very, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Is Lord Satan invoked?
Lord Satan.
Yeah.
No.
So anyhow, I was just saying thank you. We really appreciate you. We honestly couldn't do this. Literally, you help us pay for the bandwidth, the system, the equipment, all of that. And thank you
Our
for
red
doing
button.
that. It's our little red button. You are our little red button. Thank you so much. We'll try not to push it too often. Just monthly, just once a month. We push it and you give us $5 and we appreciate it.
You guys, I want to hang out in the chat. There's just so much fun happening in the chat.
we love you guys. It's really humbling to think that you would support what we do like that. So you can join at patreon.com/StudioDNA if you want to check out the Patreon. It's Studio DNA. You can follow us on Twitter, as mentioned, and
down below.
yeah, everything down below. And make sure that you hit the bell notification item for whatever place you watch at, so you know if we go live on a someday. So we will see you on the next Monday or someday.
Bye.
Love you.
Have a good
Bye.
week.
One of these days, I'm just not going to push into broadcast.
Okay.
And just see how long you keep waving.
Oh, well, I mean,